As is the poster. Everybody's doing pretty well. Including the girlfriend. I don't even know what to tell you about that about that crash dash. That's just something else. It's okay though, we don't have to worry about bonuses and any percent. Yo, that's actually pretty cool, Beastly. I usually don't look at my viewer count while I stream. So I like never know at any given time. But that's really cool. What? It's been a while since that's happened. That's kind of what happens here, Go Cubbies, without the added context. All right, I'll live with that death. I'll take it. Yeah, Beastly, it is any percent now. It isn't a speedrun without copious amounts of Warp 1 resets. What's up, Dustinius? That death was really weird. Warp 1 is life on some days, you are right. 90% hype! I wonder if anybody's actually done like a Shakespeare analysis in a Twitch chat before. Oh, hello. Had to get the third mass form, it doesn't exist. Just had to. Uh-oh, we're running out of time, according to the game. Gotta go fast, or you won't make it. Yeah, The Last of Us Part 2 is also a really hype announcement. I actually have not played I have not, like, finished the first one, though I have played it some, and it's really, really good. Like, I definitely like what I played of it. And it's, like, it's highly regarded as one of the best games, for sure. Oh, okay. I'm really glad I stopped myself before that mass box. I'm so used to just going into it, no problem, because in Hundo you never start with any masks. He's just being cheeky, Cubbies, don't worry. Oh wow, my curl sliding is a little off, so to speak. Off is one way to put it. Worst Honda run ever. I'm gonna have to go back through all the levels again. How slow. I can't either, Beastly. Naughty Dog is definitely one of the better developers. Oh, oops. Oh, what? There we go. Look before Crash? What sort of games are you referring to, Cubbies? I actually don't really know of any games offhand before Crash Bandicoot for Naughty Dog. What about Crash Bash? To be fair, Naughty Dog did not develop Crash Bash. I think it was like Eurocom Software or something actually developed Crash Bash. Naughty Dog stopped after CTR. Rings of Power, the separate game from Crash 3. Oh, the ones made in like the 80s. Holy shit. We're going way back. Yeah, I think Eurocom did pretty good with Crash Bash. You know, definitely some rough edges, but overall, pretty solid game. And honestly, like, I think Traveler's Tales did alright with Wrath of Cortex. Like, that game is totally fine. Perhaps it doesn't have the same magic as, you know, the other titles, but it works. Rillaroo. That character just seems like an afterthought. Like, they needed an 8th character, but didn't want to select any of the other ones that already exist, so they just decided to make the new character. Yeah, the load times were definitely a con of Wrath of Cortex, but it doesn't spoil the whole thing. At least for me, it doesn't. Like, perhaps it wasn't as well developed as like the other Crash games were. But it is a good time. Yeah, I don't think Twin Sanity is a bad game either, though I have to say I did not enjoy it as much personally. Like, I thought it was okay. Like, I think Wrath of Cortex, one of the things, too, about it was that they had so many angles to hit. Like, they had all kinds of different environments and vehicles and stuff. So, I think they were spread pretty thin on trying to optimize the game. Oh, hello. That was weird. Rolling Stones callback. I do kind of like the throwback to Rolling Stones in those snow levels. A nice little Crash 1 call out there. Do they really not show Rillaru's face in the manual? Dude, that's savage. That is savage. Hey, look, we're in the green. How about that? That's what I thought they were originally, Go Cubbies, like when I first started playing this game. And then I always made it to the end of the level in time, and I was like, and I didn't realize that there was actually a gem associated with it before I really like learned how to 100% this game. Like, it took me a few years after I first played this game as a child to really figure out that the timer was associated with a gem. They were trying to surprise people with Rillaru, like, I wonder what this character is. You should really spend $39.95 on this game to find out. I mean, I don't mind their attempt to generate hype, generally speaking, but hindsight is 20/20, and since we know how like underwhelming Rillaru is now, you just kind of laugh at that notion. It does kind of feel like I'm playing this game too quickly now that I'm doing an any percent run. Like, it feels really weird to just skip all this stuff. I don't know, I've probably forgotten that character already, Cubbies. Oh, hello. That was kind of everywhere. Just kind of everywhere. Not totally everywhere, of course. Oops. And before Crash 2 and 3 are DLCs. I really hope not. That would be really disappointing if they went into If they like released the Insane Trilogy, but you only had one game at first, and then you had to unlock the others. That would be so rude. Oh wow, okay. We can do it that way too, game. That's totally fine. Oh wow, I got stuck. Yeah, I think we have to be given all the games at once if they're gonna go ahead and call it a trilogy. That would be really weird if they kind of advertised the trilogy and then only gave it to us piecemeal. Like, that would be really strange. There we go. I had a feeling I could make it. I don't think anything weird like that would happen with like one of their top franchises though. Like, I think they'll do everything. I think they'll put in a lot of effort to make these games as good as possible. Yo, what's up, Faulty Server? Thanks for the host. I hope you had a good stream. I know the feeling. I'm probably gonna shell out some coin for I'm probably gonna end up shelling out some coin for a PS4 when these come out as well. Though hopefully it'll be less coin by that time rolls around. Willy the Wombat, I almost forgot about that. Yo, Faulty, what's up? PB by 236. Were you doing some more 120? I take it. And if I had $1 for every time I should have PB'd by X amount of time, that's like story of my life. I've had runs that were like off to really good starts and go like most of the way through, and then something happens down the road that's like a big mistake, or just like start getting a little nervous. It happens. Don't worry about it though. That PB's there for you to take it at a later time. Oh, Perlio, man. Illegal. How about that? I've picked a bad time to have to use the bathroom. And that's all I'll have to say about that. Hey, there we go. Oh, really? That body slam was really weird, but I guess I was at the top of the jump, so I was allowed to body slam before I hit the ground. That's really weird. Hello. Definitely don't want to get stuck there for too long. Oh, I see, Beastly. I never actually read the manual that came with my copy of Crash Bash. I see they give you a little hint there with he's not the pun about the monkey. Yeah, I know the feeling, Faulty. Don't worry about it. I don't think that's actually. I I don't think that really affects like your live stream, because I think as soon as you host me, it ends up like covering your video. But like your past broadcast will look a little weird, because I guess like for the last 3 minutes you'll just be looking at your monitor. I've forgotten to do that a couple times, and it hasn't really affected me that much. Crash's bio is the best? What is his bio? Yo, what's up, Riskiest G-Man? I'm glad you like it. That is awesome. We do have a pretty cool channel over here, I have to say. It's P good. And how are you doing today, by the way? What's up, PJS winning? I don't think so. I think these are going to be like standalone games on the PS4, so they're not going to be like emulated copies of anything. They'll be actual, factual, independent games. They'll be unified in the sense that, like, all of them will have time trials and they'll have leaderboards and stuff, but I think you will see that they are standalone games. Will people speedrun it? Well, we're gonna try. Whether it's actually gonna be a good speed game or not, we'll have to see. But I'm definitely interested in trying them out and seeing what we can do from a speedrun side. You can already tell that they are going to be very different from their originals. Time trials in every game definitely matters. Crash 1's going to be a lot different, with bonuses matter, lot more checkpoints, you can die and still get a gem. That's honestly probably the biggest deal from what we know about the remaster so far. Like, the game's going to be much, excuse me. Like, the game is going to be much more accessible, which I think is really good if they want to attract, like, new people. Yo, no problem, Riskiest. I'm glad you're having a good day and that you enjoy the channel, man. That's awesome. Yeah, you can definitely expect it to be like pretty similar to Resident Evil Remake, where like they're separate games. You know, they're not going to be add-ons or anything. Like, they're definitely going to be separate games, and they're going to feel like separate games. But it'll look really close to the original, and you'll definitely know where it came from. What's up, Ayamu? I would love for them to leave the bugs and glitches, like the neutral slide spins and stuff like that, but I think it's very unlikely. I would imagine they want to have the game as glitch-free as possible. Even though, for us as speedrunners, it would be really sweet if they just left the movement alone. Yeah, there will be new categories. The games are going to be different enough to where they will not go on the same leaderboard. They'll be separate categories. Well, easier is not so bad, Red One. Oh. that didn't work. Easier is not necessarily bad, though, because I think like a lot of the things that they're changing about Crash 1 make it a lot more accessible to new players, which I think is really smart of them. And it kind of helps us as speedrunners, too, because without some of the like artificial difficulty of not being able to die to get gems, and like you can't save your game except when you get a gem or a bonus, and kind of not being able to retry bonuses as well, like you're not really gonna take very many risks with such heavy punishment potentially. So it actually helps from a speedrunning perspective because you're more likely to go take risks and try to go faster. And also it's not nearly as frustrating when something does go wrong. And yeah, time trials are very cool. Like they're gonna make a big difference, I think, especially with the first two games, which didn't have them before. All right, Fraser, no worries, man. Glad you can hang out with us tonight, and you have a good night. And that's true. There could be some new glitches and some brand new things for us to find out in these games. You never know. And of course, the game is in early access now too, so we're really not going to know until we get our hands on like an actual like factual copy of the game. Crash the Basher Bandicoot. Oh my god. That's off to a good start already. Yeah, Unbearable could actually be a really cool remaster level in particular. I'm excited to see the space levels, like Piston It Away, Future Frenzy, and Crash 3. Like, those I definitely have high hopes for. Oh, oops. Always pay attention. Yeah, the new one does look a little like cartoony and kind of like dopey, but honestly I think it's fine. Like, I think Crash looks totally fine in his new form. And some of the animations that they showed off were actually looked really cool. Hey, what's up, Wanda? And no worries, Riskiest. I appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. We'll see you again later. I think they are going to change the checkpoint system, especially in Crash 1, where it was kind of broken. So, which honestly I kind of like that. You know, it does make it a lot more approachable for new players, and for speedrunners it doesn't really change much because we don't want to die anyway. So, if anything, having your hand held a little bit more with more checkpoints and generally like being less punished for mistakes is actually a good thing. Like, it helps the learning process. Yo, what's up, Vanny? Thanks for the good luck. How are you doing, man? Yeah, this is definitely a big jump from what we saw at E3. Like, I'm actually quite surprised at what we saw from PlayStation Experience. I'm quite impressed. And, like, even more hype, like, after this weekend. Like, originally I was kind of like, like, on the fence about maybe, like, buying a PS4 and playing these games, but now I'm just like, man, I gotta have it. Totally changed my tune. Hopefully the news keeps getting better, and we'll be hopefully pleased with the movement. That's probably going to be like a make or break thing as far as its potential as a speed game is the movement, because that's really what's defined, you know, these old games for us is this, you know, neutral slide spin, zigzagging, neutral slide jump. Like that's what it's all about, really. Yeah, I'm actually like really impressed with how the graphics look on this. Like they look enough like the original to where it's familiar, and you can definitely tell that these are, you know, the old games. but it does look really fresh, and the colors actually look really nice too. Like, they're not overly saturated or grayed out. Like, it looks really awesome just in general. Probably could carry an extra safety mask into behaving, but it's all good. Yo, Cubbies, thanks for the host, by the way. Oh yeah, I totally understand your point too, Ayumu. Like, having the added difficulty of the game, even if, you know, even with something like the checkpoints and with the strict requirements of getting a gem, like, it does feel really rewarding once you actually do make it. So I totally understand that too. I've been in the college student front too. I know that struggle. Like, normally speaking, I would not buy a console just for, like, a new game or, like, 1 or 2 new games, but this may be an exception, but, you know, this isn't just any new game. This is, you know, remasters of, you know, really promising remasters of some of my, you know, favorite games from my childhood, you know, and of all time. So it definitely has greater value than something like, you know, Dead Space or, what else? I don't know. Just like insert like AAA title here, Battlefield 1, you know, stuff like that. They're not bad games, but you know, they're not in my heart like these are, and it's definitely makes a compelling argument. Oh wow, I didn't even think I was gonna get that jump off. Rip. That's really funny. Oh, hey, you're still saving time. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Watch Speedruns has posted and tweeted me a couple of times, and it's really funny, like some of the GIFs they use. I think the last time they did me when I was doing Crash 200%, I was just riding a gem. So it just shows me like moving very slowly on a death route gem in this level. It's pretty great. Oh yeah, there's definitely still more information to get from these games, and it's also and you know, we definitely need the full picture before we can really say anything for sure. But just based on how things look, we're in good shape. Yeah, sure, go ahead, Faulty. Yo, GTA 5 is great though. Like, that's probably one of my favorite games of all time as well. Don't know if it fits the buy a new console criteria, but GTA 5 is very awesome. No worries, Quicksilver. Thanks for hanging out with us, and I do appreciate the good luck. I can't actually see the link right now, but somebody could describe it. I'd be very curious to know what the GIF actually is. Now we're looking up bad decisions, Faulty Server. 269's not bad. I'm hoping that by like the end of next year it'll be like under 250, and then I'll like, and that would be almost a slam dunk then to buy that and the remasters. Like, that's what I'm expecting to spend. We'll see what happens. I don't know, because the next-gen console's coming out with, like, the Scorpio project and, like, the whole PS4 Pro thing. Like, I don't really know how the regular PS4 is going to appreciate, depreciate, what have you. Oh, that is pretty good. It's like sometimes I'll see GIFs of runners who get hosted by Watch Speedruns where like something really bad happened and you just see them like in the middle of like screaming or something. Like, it's really funny when you see that happen. Just completely out of context. Oh. Oh, that didn't happen like I wanted. But it doesn't matter, it's not really any slower. or when somebody's just finished a run and it's like, watch this person speedrun Mega Man X, and it's the ending credits. It's so flattering. Yeah, who really knows, Faulty? It could be a totally different ball game in 6 months. It's a long time for things to change. And yeah, if the PS4 goes down to 200, then that's great, too. Though I don't really know the differences of the PS4 Pro and the PS4. Like, I understand the PS4 Pro has some, like, better hardware, but I don't really think it matters if I'm primarily doing this for the remasters. Or if there isn't a reason, or if, like, certain PS4 games are only going to run on the PS4 Pro, and so on. Like, I really don't know what the catch is. Oh, are you talking about the Cold Hard Crash Death Route Ayumu? Because that actually used to be really hard for me, and then I guess like ever since I started speedrunning it, it got a lot easier. Because number one, we can use box duplication in the 100% run to where you don't actually have to do the entire level, which is basically a big glitch. And then once you know the cycles, and if you carry a mask if you carry at least one mask into that death route, you can just damage abuse through the last nitro cycle. It's not a big deal. So it definitely comes with practice, but also like entering with a mask really helps. The PS4 with more power for the professionals. The prerequisite is you must be a professional to buy PS4 Pro. Whatever that means. Yeah, I would imagine there's some... Wow, that sucks. I would imagine that if there's some kind of grace period for people to not have to upgrade, you know? I remember Sony was generally slow to roll out their current gen consoles. Like they were still making games on the PlayStation 1 when the PlayStation 2 came out for like a couple years, I think. Like Nintendo dropped the N64 and Microsoft dropped the Xbox like pretty quickly after their releases. There we go. Oh, okay, we're good. We just hit a checkpoint. For a second I thought this was 100% and I was like, no, that's the dumbest way to die. It still is, but that's not so bad. I wanted to make sure I went after that checkpoint Because reasons. Yeah, I think 2012 was the last time a PlayStation 2 game got made, which is pretty nuts, because considering the PS3 came out like 6 years before that. 6 years. Like, that's pretty crazy. Oh, that's right, I had another death in this level. I was like, how did this go wrong? But that's okay. We could be like a minute ahead here, but we're still green though. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a sports game. Like, for some reason, that's not surprising to me. No! That sucks so much! Oh no, that's a really bad death. That's a really bad one. Oh no. It might be over. Like, I got hit, which I wasn't expecting to, and then, I wasn't quick enough when I realized the doors, not the doors, the piston cycles were open. Like, I just reacted a little too late, so I probably would have been fine otherwise. I didn't miss that cycle by much. I remember, like, I still don't really understand about, like, how PS2 Online really worked, because to me it was just a big mystery. Like, I saw, like, PS2 games were online enabled, but, like, I never tried it. I never really knew anybody who had it, or how well it worked. Yeah, if I had had probably a little bit better jump on that platform, then I would have been fine. But sadly, I did not. Well, technically it's not over, but I was, like, hoping for a somewhat sizable PB. I guess that's not going to happen today. So that's fine. But we know that good runs are possible, and that, like, we could 46. And that's pretty hype. On emulator as well, so it probably means that so it probably means that it's like a 40, like maybe a low 45 or something. Maybe it's like a low 45 on console. I'm not really sure for no-go. I think it's like about 2 to 2.5 minutes for 100%. PB by minus 3.7? Who knows? Still got a ways to go, though. Ouch. That hurt a little bit. Bam. No problem. Come on! Who gets hit twice in Pack Attack anyway? Other than me, of course. The fat version required a network card. Yeah, I do remember that little trinket. That is pretty cool, though, that it worked really well. Because I think part of the reason why I didn't was because I've only been able to have Wi-Fi in my room because the router is downstairs all the way on the other side of the house. So I was never able to do a wired connection, so when I got a PS3 was when I could actually play games online. Because PS2 you couldn't really do wireless. Do you have any plans on participating in the next Sprash Fecta? I've got a lot of work to do before I go into Sprash Fecta because I've run exactly one of the 6 categories, and it's Crash 200%, of course. So I still have yet to do the other 2 Crash games and any of the Spyro games. Like, I was considering doing Spyro 120, and like, I just have to like, but like, I'm a little intimidated by how much there is to learn about the game, and the fact that, like, I don't know if I have a ton of time to learn a game like that right now, but but I have thought about doing Splash Vecta one year. Don't know about next year, but maybe the one after that. Oh, hey, I totally forgot I had this humongous time save here. So if this warp room had gone really well, we could have saved like a minute and a half. Like, we could be almost like a minute and a half behind, which is pretty sweet. Is this like a kind of bug? What do you mean, Redwan? I do have a whole year. You are right, faulty server. But yeah, Splash Vecta is fucking sweet. Like, it's one of my... Like, I think it's really cool. Like, the Splash Vecta, the 602, like, the really long, like, speedrun categories, like, I think they're very cool. It's a celebration of it, and you can do the games in any order. So you don't have to do them in chronological order. You can do them in any order you choose. Yeah, I would imagine you start picking up on like where stuff is pretty quickly, Faulty. I think for me it's more of like trying to figure out where everything is in the first place, because I haven't played Spyro like when I was a kid that much. And if I did, it wasn't to 120% completion. So, it's really so like I guess I'm like intimidated by the open worldness of it, but eventually I'll get over it. Eventually I'll get over it and just fucking do it. That's not a problem. Spyro 120 is a really cool category, and I've definitely enjoyed watching it. Yeah! Fuck yeah, man, that feels good.